Hi everyone, it's Refresh, and I'm here to bring a battle between two M19 sealed decks versus the Battle of the Horde challenge deck from Born of the Gods. We're going to be playing with 3 hero cards: the Harvester, which will let them draw and discard a card each turn; the Vanquisher, which will let them start with 1 additional card at the very beginning and hold 1 additional card; and the Explorer, which will let them play 2 lands on each turn. Well, 1 additional land on each turn. We're going to be playing on regular difficulty for the first game, so we'll start with 3 turns before the Horde comes in on the attack. We'll go ahead and draw up to 8 and see how it goes. Boros draws a Mountain, Angel of the Dawn, Trumpet Blast, Take Vengeance, Pegasus, Courser, Plains, and Plains. I think that's okay as a start. Selesnya draws a Titanic Rift, Cavalry Drillmaster, Rocks Oracle, Gargoyle, Knightly Valor, Oresto, Swiftclaw, Plains, and Remorseful Cleric. That is not enough land, so we'll go ahead and ship this back. Because this is multiplayer, we're going to draw back up to 8. We drew a Thornhide Wolves, Gargoyle, Sentinel, Plains, Gallant Cavalry, Pegasus Courser, Rocks Oracle, Bristling Boar, and a Forest. It's not ideal because we only have 2 lands, but I think with the help of the Harvester we should be able to get there, so let's go ahead and keep that. Turn 1, we'll play a Plains and a Mountain, and a Plains and a Forest. We have no spells to cast, so we'll go ahead and end the turn. Before the turn ends, we'll use Harvester, and Boros will draw an Electrify, and Selesnya will draw a Goreclaw. We'll go ahead and discard the Electrify, and we will discard Rock's Oracle. And then we'll untap. We'll go into turn 2. Boros will draw a Mountain, and Selesnya will draw a Plains. We'll go ahead and play the Plains. We'll play another Mountain and another Plains over here, and we will cast a Pegasus Courser. Over here we will cast a Gargoyle Sentinel, and then we will end the turn using the Harvester 1 more time. Boros will draw a Daybreak Chaplain, Selesnya will draw a Plains. We will discard the Pegasus Courser over here, and we will discard the Trumpet Blast over here. And then we are going to untap and go into our final turn before the Horde wakes up. Boros draws a Mountain, Selesnya draws a Plains. We'll go ahead and play both Plains over here. We'll play both Mountains over here. We have 6 mana, so we'll go ahead and cast the Angel of the Dawn over here, giving Pegasus Courser +1/+1 and Vigilance. And on this side we will cast the Thornhide Wolves, and then we will attack with the Pegasus Courser for 2 damage, which will remove those cards. And then we're going to pass the turn to the Horde. The Horde is going to go ahead and play the top 3 cards, which is a Minotaur Goreseeker, a Minotaur Goreseeker, and a Phobos Reaver. The Phobos Reaver and the Goreseekers attack. We're going to block one of the Goreseekers with the Thornhide Wolves, and the Phobos Reaver with the Gargoyle Sentinel. We'll go ahead and take 3 from the remaining to go down to 17. We'll kill these 2, and then we will use the Harvester. Boros draws a Viashino Pyromancer, and Selesnya draws a Remorseful Cleric. We will discard the Remorseful Cleric, and we will discard the Daybreak Chaplain, and then we'll untap. We'll draw. Boros draws a Mountain. Selesnya draws a Tranquil Expanse. We'll go ahead and play the Tranquil Expanse tapped. We will play Goreclaw over here. We'll play the Mountain, and then we'll play a Viashino Pyromancer. When it enters the battlefield, it's going to deal 2 damage to the player, so it's going to mill 2 more cards from here. And then we will attack with the Angel of the Dawn, and that will be it to do 3 more damage. 1, 2, 3. When Massacre Totem is put into a graveyard from anywhere, put the top 7 cards of the Horde's library into its graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the Horde is going to untap. The Horde will cast 3 cards, the first one being a Phobos Reaver, the second one being a Phobos Reaver, and the third one being a Minotaur Younghorn. All 4 creatures will attack. The Thornhide Wolves will block the Minotaur Goreseeker. The Gargoyle Sentinel and the Goreclaw will block the 2 Phobos Reavers, and the Minotaur Younghorn will block and trade with the Viashino Pyromancer. And then we will use the Harvester, Boros draws a Valiant Knight, Celestia draws a Centaur Courser. We'll discard the Take Vengeance, and we will discard the Gallant Cavalry. We will untap. We'll draw. Boros draws a Meteor Golem, Celestia draws a Hieromancer's Cage. We will go ahead and go on the attack. We'll give the Gargoyle the ability to attack. We'll attack with the Gargoyle, we'll attack with Goreclaw, we'll attack with the Angel, and that will do, and the Goreclaw will give itself +1/+1 and trample, which will do 5, 8, 11 damage. When Altar of Mogus is put into the graveyard from anywhere, the Horde sacrifices 2 Minotaurs. There are no Minotaurs to sacrifice. When Refreshing Elixir is put into the graveyard from anywhere, each player gains 5 life. There are 2 players, will gain 10 life and go up to 27. Alright, now we're going to go to the second main phase. We will play the Valiant Knight over here. We will play Centaur Courser over here. And we will pass the turn to the Horde. The Horde is going to cast the top 3. It casts a Vitality Salve. It casts Touch the Horn Guard. Whenever Minotaur attacks this turn, it gains Death Touch, and the Minotaur Goreseeker. Goreseeker is going to attack with Death Touch. We will go ahead and take the 3 and go down to 24. And then at the end of the turn, we're going to loot. Boros draws a Bargard Brute. Celestia draws a Plains. We'll discard the Plains, and we'll discard the Bargard Brute. And then we'll untap. We'll draw. Boros draws a Siegebreaker Giant, Celestia draws an Oresco Swiftclaw. Forgot to untap this. First thing we'll do is we will cast the Meteor Golem, which will blow up the Vitality Salve. When Vitality Salve into put a graveyard from anywhere, each player returns a creature card from his or her graveyard to the battlefield. So let's see what the best creature card to return here is. Looks like it's going to be the Bargard Brute. So the Bargard Brute returns to the battlefield. And on this side, it looks like it's going to be the Rock's Oracle. The Rock's Oracle returns to the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, Celestia will draw a card. It draws a Plains, it will play the Plains, and then we will go on the attack. We will attack with the Angel of the Dawn, the Centaur Courser, the Goreclaw, Terror of Calcisma for 10 damage. We got 2 Plundered Statues. When Plundered Statue is put into a graveyard from anywhere, each player draws a card. So we're going to draw 2 cards. Boros draws a Plains and a Inferno Hellion. Celestia draws a Plains and a Forest. We'll play the Forest. We'll play the Plains. We will cast 1 Bristling Boar for 2 mana. We will cast the Oresco Swiftclaw for another 2 mana. And then we'll pass the turn to the Horde. The Horde is going to untap, and then it's going to cast the next 3 spells. The first one being a Phobos Reaver, the second one being a Phobos Reaver, the third one being a Minotaur Goreseeker. We're going to be attacked by the 2 Minotaur Goreseekers and the Phobos Reaver. We'll go ahead and block 1 Minotaur Goreseeker with the Valiant Knight, and the other one will be eaten by the Thornhide Wolves. The 2 Phobos Reavers are going to run into the Meteor Golem and the Gargoyle Sentinel, and all of them will die. Then we will use the Harvester at the end of the turn. We will draw a Bogart Brute. We will discard the Inferno Hellion. We'll draw a Vine Mare. We'll discard the Plains. We will untap. We'll draw. Boros draws a Plains. Celestia draws a Druid of the Cowl. We'll go ahead and play the Plains, and then we'll just go on an all-out attack. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then Goreclaw adds 1 to every single one that's 4 or greater. So that is 39 damage. I believe that finishes off everything here. And so we get 10 life, but before that we go ahead and defeat the Horde, and this M19 Sealed Decks have the day. We'll go to game 2 and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back to game 2. This is going to be on difficult mode, so we're only going to have 2 turns before the Horde attacks. We'll go ahead and draw up to 8 cards and see how it goes. Boros has Oresco Swiftclaw, Mountain Plains, Electrify Plains, Stone Quarry Plains, and Herald of Faith. It's not great, but we'll go ahead and keep it and hope that we can get there with the Harvester. Celestia has Plains, Skyscanner, Goreclaw, Tranquil Expanse, Gargoyle, Sentinel, Plains, and Rocks, Oracle, and Luminous Spawns. Again, this isn't a great hand, but we're going to go ahead and keep it with the hopes of getting there. Turn 1, we'll go ahead and play a Plains and a Mountain. We'll tap them both and cast a Resco Swiftclaw. We're going to play the Tranquil Expanse and a Plains, and we'll just stop right there for Selesnya. We'll use the Harvester at the end of the turn. Boros will draw a Mountain. Selesnya will draw a Leonin War Leader. We'll discard the Luminous Bonds, and we will discard Stone Quarry. And then we'll untap. We'll draw. Boros draws a Daybreak Chaplain. Selesnya draws a Gallant Cavalry. We'll go ahead and go on the attack with the Resco Swiftclaw and deal 3 damage, milling 3. Plundered Statue enters the graveyard. We'll each draw a card. Boros will draw a Viashino Pyromancer. Selesnya will draw a Forest. We'll play the Forest and the Plains, and then we'll go ahead and play the Mountain and the Plains. Over here, we will cast the Daybreak Chaplain and the Viashino Pyromancer over here, and on this side we will cast the Leonin War Leader. And then we'll pass the turn to the Horde. The Horde is going to play the top 3 cards, the first one being a Refreshing Elixir, the second one being a Reckless Minotaur, the third one being a Minotaur Younghorn. The Minotaur Younghorn attacks, the Reckless Minotaur attacks, and it will die at the end of the turn. And the Refreshing Elixir at the beginning of the Horde's pre-combat main phase, reveal an additional card from the top of the Horde's library. The Horde casts that card. So it is no longer the beginning, so we'll wait till the next turn, but we're going to be attacked by those two. The Minotaur Younghorn is going to run into the Leonin War Leader and die. We're going to take 4 damage from this Reckless Minotaur, but the Reckless Minotaur will also die. And then we will use the Harvester. Boros draws an Inferno Hellion and will discard the Inferno Hellion. Selesnya draws a Oresco Swiftclaw, and we will discard the Sky Scanner. And then we will untap. We'll draw. Boros draws a Trumpet Blast. Selesnya draws a Plains. We'll play the Plains. We'll play another Plains. And then we're going to go on the attack with both of the little guys for 5 damage. There's 5. And then we will cast a Rocks Oracle, which will let us draw a card. We'll play the Plains that we drew, and we will cast the Herald of Faith. And then we'll pass the turn to the Horde. They're going to cast the top 4 cards. A Minotaur Goreseeker, a Mogis Chosen, a Minotaur Goreseeker, and a Mogis Chosen. There's 2 Mogis Chosen. The 2 Goreseekers go on the attack, and one of them will run into the Leonin War Leader and die. The other one will do 3 damage and take us down to 13. And then it is the end of the turn. We'll use a Harvester. Boros will draw a Meteor Golem and we'll discard the Trumpet Blast. Selesnya will draw a Druid of the Cowl. We'll discard the Druid of the Cowl. And then we'll untap. We'll draw. Boros draws a Mountain. Selesnya draws a Plains. We'll play the Plains. We'll play the Mountain. And I think we just go on the attack again. So we'll go on the attack with just about everybody, leaving behind the Daybreak Chaplain. And when the Leonin War Leader attacks, we'll get 2 cats attacking as well. That's 6, 10, 14, 19 damage. Alright, we have exactly 1 totem discarded. When Massacre Totem is put into a graveyard from anywhere, put the top 7 cards of the Horde's library into a graveyard. So we'll go ahead and put another 7 into the graveyard. And we have a Plundered Statue that lets us draw a card. And so we're also going to draw a Plains. Selesnya is going to draw a Forest. We'll play the Forest, we'll play the Plains, and then we'll go to second main phase. Second main phase, Boros will play the Meteor Golem, blowing up the Refreshing Elixir, which will get us 10 life to go up to 23. And Selesnya will cast Goreclaw, and we'll also cast the Gargoyle Sentinel. And we'll gain 2 life from the life-linking kitties to go up to 25. And then we will pass the turn to the Horde. The Horde is going to untap. The Horde is going to cast the top 3 spells. The first one being a Refreshing Elixir, the Minotaur Goreseeker, and the Reckless Minotaur. We're going to be attacked by all of these. And we will block... Wow, we don't really want to block any of these, do we? Can we take all the damage? That is 20 damage. I don't think we do want to take 20 damage. Alright, we're going to trade the Meteor Golem and the Gargoyle Sentinel with the 2 Minotaur Goreseekers. And we will take 14 damage, going down to 11. Oh, when we attacked with the Herald of Faith, we should have gained another 2 life. That takes us up to 13. And then we will end the turn with the loot. We'll use the Harvester. Boros draws a Goblin Instigator and discards a Goblin Instigator. Selesnya draws a Forest and discards a Forest. We'll untap. We'll draw. Boros draws a Siegebreaker Giant. Selesnya draws a Forest. We'll play the Forest. We will attack with just about everybody. Oh, this dies at the end of the turn. When the kitties attack, they're going to create another 2 of themselves. And then Goreclaw is going to increase the damage of these 2 to be 5 each, so that's 15. Plus 4 is 19. 23 plus 5 is 28. 28 damage, gaining 6 life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's everything. So let's see if there's anything left. Altar of Mogus causes the Horde to sacrifice 2 Minotaurs. There are only 2 Minotaurs in play. So they die. We gain 6 life to go up to 19. But it doesn't matter because we have vanquished the Horde. So the 2 M19 sealed decks defeat the Born of the Gods Battle the Horde challenge deck. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button for me. If you'd like to see more such videos, hit subscribe. I'll be back with a battle with these 2 M19 sealed decks versus the Defeat a God challenge deck from Journey into Nyx. This is Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you then.